When you come into a town, almost every single time I would see a Super 8, a Hotel 6, some kind of Super America or Holiday. These are stores here, but whatever the local store was, a gas station, a motel, a Walmart, a Target. And it was just suburban sprawl. I came to really hate suburban sprawl and see how much of it there was. I became much more of an environmentalist. That's where I became more left wing in my travels. On a lot of things, I'm very conservative, but on the environment, I'm pretty liberal. I think we need to preserve the national parks, preserve green places, have clean air, have clean quality. And when people ask me what I learned, both the sameness and the diversity. The sameness, which is depressing, is all the suburban sprawl, the same shit, the same shopping malls, the same stupid discount stores, the same cheap motel stores. And the remarkable thing is the diversity. I would go down to Mexico, down to El Paso, across over the bridge, and go hitchhike through northern Mexico. Juarez, there's a lot of the drug cartels, and back then it wasn't as bad, but there were problems, and I got into some pretty hairy situations. And a couple times I thought they were kind of, I don't want to say they were sicaros or whatever, but it felt to me like they were pretty kind of, what are you doing down here, gringo? And I was kind of wondering, well, are they giving me a ride because I'm just adventuring, or are they going to do something nefarious to me? So you go see Juarez and go hitchhike through northern Mexico, and I would do it for 2-3 days, just stay whatever, and then in southern New Mexico, which I really love. Of course, there was a beautiful dark-haired woman. Don't need to get into all that, but I look back on it and what a dog, but what adventures. There's so many beautiful women out there. I speak a little Spanish, hablo un poquito de español. Love those ladies too. So it was ridiculous, and I would gamble whenever I had a few bucks in my pocket, and it was something else. So I spent about 1.5 years out west. But the thing I tell people about the American West, if you ever read John Krakauer's book Into the Wild, he talks a lot about the West being a mindset, not just a physical place. That you see those mountains. And when I first saw those mountains, Montana, Wyoming, then later New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, I just felt called. I just see them and you just want to run out to them. I still have that feeling. There were times I was in the nursing home and all I wanted to do was have someone just take me out to Montana or New Mexico and just leave me. Just let me be out there. The energy of the West. So I do think it's true. The West is the best. I'm biased towards Minnesota, but when you see those mountains and you see those canyon lands of Utah, you see the sunset on the Sangre de Cristo Mountains in New Mexico. Oh my goodness. I tell people, go west and just drive. Just drive and spend 12 hours just driving through New Mexico or Arizona or Utah. And if your eyes work, which mine don't now, you're just going to have an unbelievably good time. What's the best thing to do in America? Go to the national parks and drive. That's what I tell everyone. You buy this thing called the Golden Eagle Pass and go see the West. So the West is not just a place, it's a mindset, and it calls you. The land calls you. It still calls me. I think the air is different, especially when you've been stuck in a group home and a nursing home. I want to go back out there for a couple months, just breathe the mountain air. Just being out there, I think, has a healing effect on people. So what I say, everyone in Washington, D.C. should do, all the congressmen, they should get together and go for a week, either to New Mexico or Utah, and just spend time out there and have a national meditation thing where there's just the energy of a place like Sedona or Moab or Santa Fe. It just makes people better being out there, and it recharges the soul. Whereas when you're stuck in Washington and you're in this suit and tie and you're always debating back and forth all this shit, it doesn't do anything for our country. So I used to say when I was in New Mexico, there was a river that ran through Roswell called the Pecos River, and it goes into Texas. And I used to say you could learn more from living on the Pecos than you could on the Potomac. Whereas when I was 18 or 19, I thought Washington, D.C. was the shit. You had to be out there. But later I came to see that being in a place like Roswell, New Mexico, the aliens. But no, just meeting the cattlemen out there, the oil men. It was such an interesting thing, and much less cost of living, that you had a few $100, you could have a lot of adventures. So you learn more from the Pecos than you do the Potomac. Go west, young man. Go see some of the West while you're able-bodied.